Hey everyone, I'm Lucy and today we're doing a little review of the new FUJI X-T3 camera. This camera has been wonderful to shoot with. I've had it out on loan for a couple weeks, so this video isn't sponsored, it's not paid for anything. Literally just have this thing to try out and give you my 2 cents on it. Now, this camera has some of the best specs, I think, for APS-C style cameras. We're gonna go over those a little bit in the video, but I'm not gonna go super heavy into all the technical sides of this camera. So if that is something that you want, I will link some videos in the description so you can check that out. But I'm gonna talk about basically the best specs, the things that you need to know about it, and then also just the things like the video quality, the photo quality, how it looks, how it feels, things that I think are really important when you are testing out or thinking about a camera. Because here's the thing, you could pick up any camera that's out there today on the market and it's gonna have great specs. You're gonna be able to do great photos and great videos with it. Like, honestly, all the cameras out there, they are great. So what it really comes down to is which camera you love using, which camera you kind of vibe with, connect with, and inspires you to go out and shoot some more. So the first thing that I want to talk about for the FUJI X-T3 is the look and feel of the camera. So first of all, this camera is just gorgeous to look at. It has this really cool kind of vintage vibe aesthetic with the black body and the silver accents, which I just think is super cool. And literally every time I was out using this, people ask me like, what is that camera? Why does it look so cool? A lot of people actually thought it was a film camera, which I think that is just neat. It's just a full-on digital camera, but kind of has a bit more heart to it in the way that it looks. The other thing is that the build quality of this camera is amazing. It is just super well built. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen Magic Mike with Channing Tatum. He's doing some of those dance scenes and you're like, whoa, that man is well built. That's how I feel about this camera. You know, you just wanna be around him, you just wanna look at him, and I'm still talking about Channing Tatum actually. So back to the camera. Now the other thing is you can customize all these cool little dials so you can use this camera really quickly. It's weather resistant, which I think is really important for cameras nowadays. We're taking these things everywhere. Now the only downside about the build for me is the flip out screen. You can flip it back and to the side, but you can't flip it completely out. So you can't be filming yourself and see yourself. You can't take selfies, which, you know, come on, we all want to take selfies nowadays. So that is the one downside in terms of the build. All right, onto the photo quality of this camera. So the X-T3 has an APS-C style sensor. It is not a full frame camera. Now, if you don't know what any of that means, then it really doesn't matter. So just go ahead and get this camera. If full frame is something that is really important to you, then that's that. You know, you're not interested in APS-C style. If you're on the fence, here's my kind of thoughts on it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I think that for the amount that you save going APS-C style, that is a big deal. The difference in terms of the quality is not major, especially if you're kind of starting out and if you're intermediate level photographer. I would much rather suggest to you that you save the money, go APS-C, invest in lenses, and then when you're like pro level, go and get the full frame if that's what you really want. But if you're starting out, you want amazing photos for yourself, for Instagram, for all that kind of stuff, APS-C is gonna serve you amazingly well, and this camera is gonna serve you amazingly well. It has 26.1 megapixel resolution. It has a back illuminated sensor, so it is amazing in low light situations. I was actually out at like a winter festival thing at night and I took photos with this camera that I think are amazing. The quality is amazing, and especially at night that these came out this way, I was pretty shocked by that. So that is another plus for the camera. The other huge bonus for the X-T3 is that it actually has essentially built-in presets. It has 16 film simulation looks. So if you want to have a specific kind of aesthetic look for your photos, you want them to kind of all have the same sort of vibe, you could just go ahead, pick one of those in camera and they look great straight out of the camera. Like, of course, you can still go ahead and do tons of editing with them, but you 100% don't need to. So again, if you're starting out, you want great photos for Instagram, for yourself, for your memories, doing some client work, this is gonna save you so much time and effort just by using those looks right out of the camera. I don't think there's any other camera that I like the photos straight, raw, how it takes it as much as I have on the Fuji. Now onto one of the most important elements of a camera, and that is autofocus. And this thing is insane. It has 100% phase detection, 425 sensors, which means the entire frame has autofocus capabilities, which is amazing. The other element that I love about it is it has face and eye auto detection. You can pick which eye you want to put in focus, and it works really, really well. I was doing photos with this and literally none of them were out of focus. I was so impressed with the autofocus on this. So whether you're doing video and you want a continuous autofocus, like doing vlogs, a little vlog test, holding the camera on yourself and filming video, or if you're using the auto face and eye detection for photos, it is amazing in both regards. All right, now on to the video capabilities of this camera. It does 4K 60p 10-bit video. That is amazing. It is like, that is so high quality. It's so beautiful. I've been impressed with all of the video I've done on it, but that is super amazing. And you can do 1080p 120. So no matter what, you are getting amazingly high quality video out of this. I thought the 1080 on it was amazing, and I usually film in 1080 anyway. I rarely shoot in 4K at the moment. The one downside is that it does not have internal image stabilization. So if you are doing a lot of vlogging and a lot of handheld, you are gonna have to be sort of careful with that. I still thought it looked really good, but just be careful of that. So if you're doing mostly photography, again, it doesn't matter, but if you do a lot of video and you're doing a lot of vlogging and handheld things, you are just gonna have to keep note of that because it will be a little bit shaky, but I would still use this for vlogging and I'd still do handheld, especially because if you're doing handheld shots, you have that ability to do the 60p or the 120p at 1080. So you have some wiggle room to kind of add stabilization in post, and you can also have stabilization in your lenses. So should you buy this camera? I'd say Hundo P, do it up. If you haven't actually had a really good high quality camera before, or you've been taking photos for a while, maybe you've been using your phone or just like a lower level DSLR and you're like, this is the year I'm upgrading to more of a pro level camera, this is the camera. Like honestly, this is the camera because it is not intimidating at all. It has a very, very quick learning curve. It's very easy to use. The photos look amazing right out of the camera. So you don't have to have a ton of knowledge about photo editing. You can still go ahead and do that. But the thing that I love about this is you can literally take this camera out of the box and start taking amazing photos right out of the gate. And that's really important because when it's easy to use, then you love taking photos. You're gonna take more, you're gonna learn, and you're gonna get better. And then the other thing about this is, even though you can take this out of the box and take great photos, it still has a lot of room for you to grow with it. You could get into video, do really high quality video work, high quality photo work, because the specs are there to do amazing professional level stuff with this camera. So you can get it starting thinking, I'm just gonna do this for fun, this is for me, and then you can also grow with it to do paid work, to do client work with this camera. So I'm really sad that I have to send this camera back. I only have it on loan. I don't want to, I've loved it so much, but I am gonna be getting a new camera this year. So at the moment, the FUJI X-T3 is at the top of the list for me. So let me know if you guys are thinking about getting it. If you have it already and you've been loving it, let me know what you think. This has been really fun. I think I might do some more reviews coming up. All right, guys, if you liked the video, let me know. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.